if the murder was just not about the murder? See, almost went too far. But the questions like that are what lays the foundation for Foolish as it pertains to the entire Foolishverse. Okay, full transparency. I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. Mecca, cannot be trusted with her own lore. Because every time, and this is the fourth time I've tried to film this video, every time I get to talking and running off at the mouth, I risk spilling secrets that I don't need to be spilling about this book. And we are not doing that. We are practicing discipline. In 2018, I wrote a book called Foolish, which is a Hoodoo fiction, urban fiction novel about a girl who is summoned back to her hometown of Fayetteville, North Carolina, because her parents are unalived. However, when she gets back there, burying her parents is not the only thing going to be you. She also, when she goes home, finds out that she is a part of a family who are some heavy hitters in Hoodoo. Me writing Foolish opened up a whole new world that I really was not expecting to open up. If you follow me on any of my other social media platforms, you know I have spoke many times about the fact that to me, Foolish was going to be a one and done book. And then y'all started asking and inquiring. So then came Foolish 2, the second book in the series, right? Thought that was going to be it. And then I started to draft and plot Foolish 3, the third book in the series. And that's when all hell broke loose. From these 2.5 books, I have created an entire universe. I'm calling it the Foolishverse. In the Foolishverse, it consists of 3 different series, which we ain't gonna get into all that right now. Okay? Remember, discipline. But I do kind of want to talk about this whole universe that I'm building without telling you the juicy details, okay? Because, again, discipline. So if you want to peek inside the Foolishverse with me in this video, stay tuned. So like I said a second ago, the Foolishverse is going to consist of 3 different series, which are all a part of the same saga. All of the series are connected. It's a whole thing. It's very layered. But I don't feel like I can necessarily really like all the way talk about the Foolishverse without talking about how we got there. So let's start at the actual beginning, shall we? Foolish. Now, Foolish is not cute at all. It's not soft. It really starts with the main character Soul's entire life imploding. I said earlier, her parents are murdered, which causes her to come back home, and her coming back home truly destabilizes her life. She finds out that her entire life was a lie. Everything about who she thought she was, about who she thought her family was, all the things. Lies. Fairy tales. Fallacies. And then on top of all of that, right? On top of all of that, she finds out that she comes from a powerful family of hoodoos. And I'm not talking about cute head wrap hoodoos. I'm talking about like lineage, bloodline, inheritance that nobody thought to tell her about. Sound real ghetto to me. So this first book is really about, and this is going to sound wild, creating the rupture. In this series, in this saga, the main character Soul is completely going through what one would call an identity collapse. And then the fact that like she finds all of this stuff out, and the only people that can help her are dead. The only person that might have answers, mind you, is a grandmother that she didn't know existed, and you thought your life was bad. Here in Foolish 2, the second book is where the universe starts to expand. Side note, shameless plug, if you don't have anything to do on Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, we're reading my book Foolish 2 live, literally, on my radio show. Link downstairs in the description. But Foolish and Foolish 2 aren't just about Soul discovering that she comes from a powerful family of hoodoos. It introduces a lot of deeper things. The idea that the truth of who she is, who her family is, and what gifts they possess that others want. The idea that the gifts that they possess, that who they are, have been intentionally buried. That there are systems, familial systems, societal systems, spiritual systems that have made it so that she doesn't know who she is. Why? Because they benefit from it. And once she starts digging, it doesn't just affect her, it affects everybody around her in a way where no one can hide anymore. See, this is where I have to start choosing my words carefully. You know, giving y'all the tea without giving y'all the tea. Because the deeper that this main character goes into her lineage, she realizes a couple of things. Her family isn't just spiritually gifted or hoodoos. They're a family, a lineage, a bloodline that has been positioned. And the history stretches farther back than just foolish. There are decisions that her family made generations ago that are still affecting her. And that foundation, that bloodline, that buried truth, that generational power is what becomes the backbone of what is the Foolishverse. When I first wrote Foolish, I really thought that I was just telling a story about generational trauma, about healing, about hoodoo, which is a tradition that I'm a part of that I love. I really thought that it was just a contained story, you know? Again, I thought I was about to be done after the third book. But then even I started to ask questions as the author. And y'all know how dangerous it is when an author starts to ask questions. But more so, the story, I feel, started to ask questions. Like, who else is connected to this bloodline? Who benefits from this power being hidden? Who benefits from these gifts, this lineage, this bloodline being hidden? What if the murder was just not about the murder? See, almost went too far. But the questions like that are what lays the foundation for Foolish as it pertains to the entire Foolishverse. It shows bloodline as a destiny and a burden because Soul didn't want it. Hoodoo as an inheritance. The South as a very spiritual place. Family secrets being structural. That's wild. That's wild. Your whole entire family is structured and based on top of like secrets. And then the whole power of it all being intentionally obscured. And so from there, if you look at it through that lens, the universe kind of widens. Because who or what else exists in this world? Where did the Foolishverse originate from? Especially with me saying that it started before Foolish. Who's watching? Who's intervening? Who's suppressing? I gave y'all tea right there. And I'm not going to hold y'all. Even doing this video, I'm very... I don't want to say afraid, but there's a little bit of trepidation there. Part of me is really scared to talk about it too early because I feel like when you talk about something as layered as this too early, you tend to flatten it a little bit. And I don't do flat, I do juicy. And I want y'all to experience all of these things in real time. But I also want y'all to understand that nothing that happens in Foolish, Foolish 2, or the other two series that I'm writing is random. If Foolish is the explosion of this all, then everything else in the Foolishverse is the fallout. So this is going to be the first episode in the series that I'm coining called Welcome to the Foolishverse. I also have a Patreon called The Foolishverse, which is going to be down below, downstairs in the description box. And that is where I'll go into a lot more detail, more so than I do in these videos. I really want to take y'all with me as an author as I write this. This is something that I know is going to be legendary. So if you want to learn more about the Foolishverse, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you know each and every time I post. And until next time, be great, get bread, stay all the way alive. And with everything, be intentional. Have the week that you conjure. Peace.